Hey guys, how you going? Trent here again from Trent Brand Personal Training. Alright, so I'll give you training volume and frequency because you kind of asked for it, you kind of didn't, but I also wanted to really explain it. So I thought I'd do a video for you anyway. Okay, so what we're going to discuss today, guys, is training, volume and frequency and a little bit of intensity and why the original bro split is dead. So what I mean by bro split is chest and triceps on a Monday and then back and biceps on a Tuesday, and then I'll probably hit legs, but most likely not because legs is pretty hard, so I don't really hit legs anyway. But and then I'll hit some shoulders, and then I'll most likely hit arms again because arms is my favourite. And then I'll hit some abs as well because, you know, she's big to have. So sorry if I was taking the piss out of anybody there. But it doesn't make sense anymore. That's why they call it the bro split. Alright? So officially, I'd like to say that it's dead, even though some people still do it, but that's because they're uneducated. But I'm about to educate you right now. Alright? So, how we're going to go through this, alright? Correct programming is number one. Know what you are programming for, or who is programming that program for you. Program. Are we going for strength? Are we going for bodybuilding? Or are we going for something else? Alright? Are we going for more athletic type? Alright? Making sure that your programming is optimal and is optimized for you. Okay, so for me, how I'm going to do it is I'm going to base this whole thing around a bodybuilding program style, or just like a muscle building fat loss style, right? So that will be all here, but I'll explain that in a minute. Progressive overload, okay? Progressive overload is number two. Making sure that you are gradually increasing the training stimulus to force your body to adapt, which means that you want to make sure that you are either increasing your weight, increasing your reps, or increasing your sets that you are doing throughout your program over time to make sure that you are forcing your body to adapt. Okay, so what that might mean is that you start off at week one at 3 sets, 8 reps, 8 to 10 reps of specific exercises, all right? And then over time, we want to get to maybe, you know, week number 4, we want to be doing maybe 5 sets of those exercises, all right? That's increasing the stimulus. Knowing when to back off, all right? Tinder taught me a lot. Deloading is just as, if not more important than the program and progressive overload. Okay, so deloading means that we need to back off to make sure that we don't overtrain. Okay, so overtraining, you'll notice that you'll start to get lethargic, your weights will go down, you'll probably put on a little bit of body fat, or you might hurt yourself. Okay, so that we need to know when to deload before any of that happens, okay? So deloading could be just splitting everything in half, taking your weights down by 50%, right? Weights down by 50% and sets down by half, all right? So maybe if you're doing 6 sets to get that progressive overload, maybe, you know, week 10 or maybe even week 8, we cut that down in half, we go to 3 sets, okay? 3 sets, 50% of our 1 rep max, or, you know, 40% of our 1 rep max, just to make sure that we don't hurt ourselves and that we resensitize ourselves to that weight again. Okay? That is pretty much it for that, all right? And then we're going to end up going to these splits as well, okay? So volume. Volume is the amount of sets times reps times weight or load, all right? So that gives you your volume. So 3 sets times 8 reps times 40 kilos, right? If you see that your volume is slowly increasing over time, that's a good thing. That's a good indicator of progressive overload, okay? Then we go into our frequency. How many times a muscle part is trained per week, okay? So we want to be trying to hit, well, I'll show you when we get into these split examples, we want to be trying to hit our muscle groups or a muscle part at least 2 to 3 times a week, okay? And intensity, right? So we always want to make sure that our intensity is somewhat high for muscle building, okay? So the intensity is percentage of the 1 rep max. So, for example, 60% of my 1 rep max is most likely going to get me between an 8 to 10 rep range. So hopefully that all makes sense, all right? We go into our split examples here, okay? So a split example, all right, we've got your Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, your full week, all right? From there, you need to program when you are going to be working out, right? I know that life can throw challenges and whatnot, and you might not be able to get a workout in, but that's fine, okay? Try to work it out as best as you can. We have our split examples here, okay? So they're not in any particular order, but at the end, I will tell you my favorites, and I'll tell you which ones will most likely get you the best results, okay? So we have our full body number 1, which this is for people who, you know, work night shifts, work really dodgy hours and whatnot. They get the most amount of work in that they can, all right? So we do a full body on Monday, we have a rest Tuesday, rest Wednesday, full body Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we rest. Okay, so that's 2 workouts per week. Full body number 2 is 3 full bodies per week. Okay, so full body Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, the other days we have off. We have a PPL, which is push, pull, legs. Okay, so we have push Monday, pull Tuesday, Wednesday we have legs. We reset Thursday, push, pull, legs, and then we rest on a Sunday. For some people, that is quite a lot of exercise to be doing. So I would only really recommend that for advanced trainers, right? People who are training more, around 5 to 6 times a week. Okay. Then we have our upper lower split, all right? So Monday, Tuesday, upper lower, we have a rest, and then we do Thursday, Friday, upper lower, and then we rest. For me, that is my perfect split, okay? Because I usually work 3 days on and have 4 days off. So in my 4 days off, upper lower, and then I rest for 3 days. Doesn't really matter when you get it in, it's over the week, it doesn't matter, okay? And then we have our bro split, so we have chest and back, and then probably chest and back again, and then probably arms. But in all seriousness, we have chest, back, shoulders, legs, arms, abs, rest. You'll see a pattern there when we get to that bro split part. Okay? So the reason why I've set this out for you is because I want to show you what's the most optimal for people who are training around 3 to 5 times a week. Okay? For some people, it's going to be completely different, and that's absolutely fine. I understand that. You just do the best you can to get the most work in. Okay, so if you're doing your full body days, you're most likely going to be at the gym for longer, so you've got a time for that. Time for that? Allow for that. Weird. Your full body days are probably going to take around 1.5 hours. Okay, so you got your push-pull legs, your upper lowers, they're probably going to take around 45 minutes. Okay, so I'm going to put this at best to worst. Worst to best. Alright? I'm going to put full body number 1 at number 5. Right? So that's probably not the most optimal. Okay? Number 2 is going to be our bro split. Alright? And I'll explain that after this. Okay? Number 3 is full body number 2. 4 is our, wow, what are the numbers here? Jesus. Let's start that again, guys. Bro split is number 4. Full body number 2 is 3. Jesus. Our upper lower split is number 2, and our push-pull legs is number 1. So, the reason why our bro split, even though we work out 6 times a week, isn't optimal, is because you are only hitting 1 muscle group per week. As I said here, frequency is times a muscle part is trained per week. Okay, so for the bro split, we're only hitting our chest once a week, whereas compared to our push-pull legs or even our upper lower day, we're going to be push, we're going to be hitting our chest twice a week at least. Right? Even with our upper lower, we're going to be hitting our chest twice a week. Okay, so what that means is that we can progressively overload that muscle quicker, and we can force it to adapt quicker. Okay, so same sort of thing, chest back, shoulders, You hit legs once a week, your legs are never going to grow because they're half of your body. So if your upper body might grow just a little bit because you're hitting it more frequently, but your legs are never going to grow. That's why you get chicken legs. Right? Our full body at number 3, you're going to be hitting your chest maybe 3 times a week. So that's probably just as good as push-pull legs or upper-lower. Okay, some people would even argue that it's probably better than upper-lower. Alright? But you've got your push-pull legs at the most optimal. The reason for this being is that you can get more volume in, right? So more exercises, and you can stay at the gym for less over time. Alright, so you've got push and push. You're going to hit your chest and your shoulders twice. You got your pull and your pull. You got your back twice. You got your legs twice per week. Okay. Hopefully, guys, that makes a bit of sense. So our most optimal, we're going to go from best to worst. Push pull legs, upper lower, full body 2. Right. So upper lower, full body 2. You might even include that as like on similar part. Alright, bro split is number 4, even though I'd like to have it at number 5, but it's got more work in than full body anyway, and full body 1 at number 5. Okay. We got some research here by, well, I just thought I'd put it in just so you understand how this whole thing works, right, over the split examples. Research by Eric Helms says that for the most optimal form of muscle training, muscle gain, right, and the way that you should train the most optimally is most of your sets should be this in between the 6 to 12 rep range, right? But optimally, 8 to 10 reps, with some of those sets be going to failure. Okay, I think a failure is a great way to re-establish, I guess, you want to overload that muscle, right? So 8 to 10 reps is a good way to do it. So re-establishing, I guess, a shock to the system, right? If you just keep using that 8 to 10 reps, potentially your body could get used to it. So if you go and you just like 1 or 2 shy of that 8 to 10 reps, if you go to failure, it's going to really force that muscle to adapt, okay? 1 to 3 exercises per body part, 1 for smaller exercises, all right? So for smaller body parts, so 1 to 3 exercises. So you've got, we'll take your chest again, for example. You're going to do 1 to 3. So we've got a bench press, so a flat bench press, and we'll say some cable flies. Okay, that is 2 exercises, optimal. Right? As you start to progress, you should work towards 3 to 6 sets. All right, start at 2 to 3, work towards 3 to 6 sets. All right, 3 to 6 sets is most optimal. I usually get most of my clients to go to about 5, just to see how they go. If they start to get sore and not recover as quick, I usually never really go above 5. But if they're doing pretty good, I'll get them to 6, just sometimes. Train each muscle group 2 to 3 times per week. So that gives you upper lower, push-pull legs and full body 2 being your most optimal splits of training. All right? And the load lifted should be around 60% of your 1 rep maximum. Okay, so intensity should be about 60% of your 1 rep max. So that intensity usually correlates with your reps, and 60% of your 1 rep max will most likely get you between 8 and 10 reps. Okay, so if you don't know your 1 rep max, there's plenty of calculators online that will give you a 1 rep estimate based on how many reps to failure you lift of a certain lift. So if I'm doing bench press and I bench press 100 kilos for 6 reps, so just click in 100 kilos for 6 reps, it will most likely give me a higher value for 1 rep, which might be 120 for 1 rep. Anyway, okay, so hopefully that makes sense, guys, right? Remember, the bro split is not optimal anymore because you cannot hit a specific muscle group more than once a week. You go way too hard on chest day and get all of your sets and reps in for the week, and it blows you out and you're going to have to take a whole week to recover. Okay, so just as a little bit of an extra bit for you, here's what I would program for most of my guys. Okay, so I have I want to build my chest. Okay, so chest, right? Roughly the maximum amount of volume that you should prescribe for a chest for it to grow. So the maximum adaptive volume is around, I think it's 15 to 20 sets per week. And those sets are about 8 to 10 reps. Okay, so what I will do if I'm using an upper-lower split is that I would program accordingly, right? So this is obviously about 5 weeks or 5 or 6 weeks into the program. What we're going to do is we're going to do our upper day, all right, on Monday, and then we're going to do another upper day on Thursday. All right, so Thursday, and that's Monday, whatever. I'm going to split that 15 to 20 sets over those 2 days. Okay, so instead of getting my 15 to 20 sets of chest completely on one day when I'm going to be knackered, split it over time, you'll be able to recover quicker, you'll be able to push more load, more weight, etc. Right, I'm going to be doing, let's say I do 10 sets at 8 to 10 reps on Monday, and another 10 sets of 8 to 10 on Thursday, right? The exercise that I do is a flat bench and a cable fly. And then on Thursday, I'll do an incline bench and a chest fly with dumbbells. So a dumbbell, chest fly, we'll call it chest fly press, where you, instead of actually flying out nice and wide, you actually drop your elbows a bit to get maximum stretch in that chest. Okay? Do 5 sets of both, 5 sets, and you're going to get all of that volume in, like your chest, but you're going to get it split up over 2 days. Alright? Use that sort of basic principle for the rest of your workouts. Right? They might be a bit longer, they might take about an hour or so, but you're going to see maximum results. Just one more thing. Rest between sets should be about 45 seconds to 1 minute. That's for muscle building. If you want to know what the strength resting time is, send me a message and I'll tell you. Look at me being on Mr. Mysterious. Alright guys, hopefully that makes sense. If it doesn't, send me a message as per usual, right? And I'll try and explain it to you as best as I possibly can. If you guys are interested, I'm having an online program sale. Okay, so my online programming sale is usually around $400 for 12 weeks, right? What we're going to put it at this week, just for you guys who have watched this video, make sure you actually, so I know that you can get this deal, I want you to actually mention that you saw this deal on the video, right? If you don't, then you just don't get the bonus, all right? So, online training with me, you get food, nutrition, training, macros, everything all organized by me, frequency, volume, everything. For, instead of $400, for 12 weeks, it's $250. Oop, I was gonna write 200 then. $250, 12 weeks, or I think it's around $21 per week. Okay, 12 weeks. If you'd like to get started, message me and I'll get you organised. Right, it's Trent, Trent Banks PT. See you later. Bye.